part of the NBA.
What do you guys need to do to close this out?
Stop Devin Booker, honestly, as much as we could. Just fortunate that he had a mental lapse at the end of the game, just fouling out, getting the six, but he was making some tough shots, all night. And whether we were there or not, they were utilizing him to be a focal point, which he has been for the majority of the season, of running him around screens, which opened up opportunities for his other teammates. So I felt like we did a good job of pulling in, but Tyson got behind us a little bit too many times, hitting some lobs, and when you have other guys chipping in, they're a totally different team than what you watch on film at times. But when they come out to play, they had 2 days off. Come out ready to play, and Devin's trying to prove a point as well. And then, a couple of guys, like I said, chipping in with some timely baskets, and it turns into a game, and that's what happened tonight. So.
Knowing what you know about fourth quarter scoring, how would you say Jason's developing in that way?
Just opportunities opening up for defenses, having to make decisions out there on what they're going to do, what they're going to try to do to stop either me and Al's pick and roll or me and Marcus's pin downs, and Jason's just flying off and did a great job of just making himself available tonight and being effective when he caught the ball.
Some guys, when they're that young, don't see it that clearly. He just seems to see everything very clearly.
He's a maturing individual, and he's mature beyond his years, and especially out on that basketball court, he has the ability to get to open spots and make timely jump shots, as well as make drives to the baskets that are kind of uncanny for a young player.
You don't have a lot of these early type games throughout the season, but for a player, what's the biggest adjustment when you have to kind of get it going 6-7 hours earlier than you normally do?
Just waking up, waking your body up, getting your mind just dialed into what you're about to go into. It's kind of hard to prepare when you have to really get a good night's sleep or time it the right way, just because it's a little unusual time to have it at 1 p.m. But it's those happen at times, and you just got to prepare as best you can.
And when you get out there, does it take a minute to just kind of get your body into that mode of you got a game to play right now?
Yeah, but you don't ever want to use that as an excuse. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. You wake up out of bed. Like I woke up out of bed and hopped straight. Obviously I did what I had to do to get ready, but you just hop in the car and you hop right on the court. So it's a little unusual, but it's been happening for years throughout the league. So you just try to prepare as best you can.
First team to 20 wins. Are you surprised at how quickly you guys are coming together?
I think I'm not necessarily surprised. I think that the surprise comes from outside of the locker room. I think that's probably the biggest surprise. More than anything, I think that we have a few goals that we want to hit, a few milestones that we want to hit throughout the season. But the most important thing is to build consistency. And when you do that, you can start to develop going from a good team into a great team. And we still have a long way to go before we consider ourselves a great team. Before anybody considers that, which we understand. But when you're hitting marks, every 10 games, every 20 games, every 30 games, and it's consistent, you know what you can expect from us as a team, and then we start getting in that conversation. So we're doing an incredible job of just trying to continue to build.
How valuable is it to have a big like Al who can take the ball up the floor as consistently as he does?
It takes some energy. When I don't have to bring the ball up, he's able to initiate our offense and conserve some energy on my end. So.
Brad talked before the game about how your cutting has impressed him as something that he didn't know you were as good at as you are. When did that start to become a weapon for you, and how did you develop that skill?
Man, I've been a basketball player for a little bit, so it's literally depends on where you are and what the team needs and the position that you're in order to sacrifice yourself at times for cuts or running to the corner or doing the little things that matter to the team in order to get other guys opportunities. I'm willing to do. It's just being a basketball player, being able to adjust, and our offense is predicated on moving the basketball and cutting. So, when I first came here, I was able to see some opportunities where I was able to kind of dive and guys would turn their heads, and I was able to sink in the defense and get other guys open shots. So, it's a fun part of the game when you run and you sacrifice yourself, and it's not going to necessarily show up in the stat book, but that's fine. As long as you give your teammate open shot.
Kyrie, you were in maybe similar position as Booker early in your career, where you were the focal point of the centerpiece of the team. You were losing a lot. How do you get used to not losing and not get accustomed to that? How do you kind of keep the franchise on your shoulders when